There's a pattern I use in business all the time that I think people should take into consideration when they're trying to make money online. Good things come in threes. Okay, I have this pattern I've used for 15 years when selling online, and it's worked quite well for me. I've used it in various manners. First, I usually tell people when you're in business, you should be doing three ideas at the same time, three good ideas. And you should focus on all three that you think will succeed. And this way, at least one or two of them will succeed. Because in business, usually, as they say, 9 out of 10 businesses fail. And if you have three good ideas going at once, one of them is going to succeed, at least. And this has worked for me for 15 years straight. So I've always had at least one thing going. Okay, and obviously once you got one thing going, you should go try another three and then figure out another one that will at least work for you. And then just continually try to build. Because it's always wise to have three things going that work too. In other words, don't put all your eggs in one basket, as the old saying goes, or as in Proverbs it says to cast your bread upon the sea. You know, in case one idea doesn't work, you have something else going, right? So sort of a, spread out your money, make sure everything, spread out your time so that you're not focusing it all on one thing that could fail. And then that way you'll truly succeed in the end. I use this three principle for a lot of things. I even recommend it for eBay or Amazon that you should have three accounts going. Because of how eBay and Amazon operate, it's wise to have one test account, one backup account, and one main account. Now, of course, you can't just make this three accounts all on the same IP address and computer and all that. You actually have to do it in stealth. You have to do it in stealth to have multiple accounts. I think theoretically you could maybe do it in some cases. I've actually heard of I've coached people that told me they have three eBay accounts or three Amazon accounts or whatever, but usually eBay and Amazon don't put up with that, and they usually just cancel one or two of them, or probably two of them on you. But and if one of them goes down, all the others will go down as well, usually. So the wisest way to do it is in stealth, where you'd have each one on a different IP, and I can actually teach you how to do that if you're interested. Where you have three different accounts going, so you could do testing on one account, and then you can also build up your backup accounts and sell on your main account, so that if one account goes down, you still got two others, right? And this is the way I do it with Amazon or eBay. And this is how I tell people who sell for me to do it, is to do it with Amazon and eBay this way. And then also, you can see how this principle works in quite a few different ways. It works with accounts. It works with business ideas. It also works with the idea of, once you do have something succeeding, you should still go and make other systems. So you should have multiple systems that are successful going in case one of them goes down as well. So this principle works in many respects. And, it hasn't failed me yet. And I've been teaching this principle for probably 10 years now. And what's it going to hurt to make sure that you have some backups anyways, right? Obviously, some other simple principles you should take into consideration is don't get lazy, okay? Always try to be thinking outside the box, because the money is where others are not noticing things. Money is always where everybody is not. Everybody's over here fighting over this pie, fighting over this one thing. They're selling this one item, okay, because it's a hugely popular item. They're all in this category fighting and trying to steal each other's sales, and some of them are like really hitting underneath the belt, and they do some evil shit, and you might not know about this, but some will even go and make a fake account and try to buy from you and then try to ruin your account. Not very many sellers do that, but you have some unethical bastards that will do that. So, what's a way to get past all this? How can you get ahead? Obviously, one thing you could do is notice things that they're missing. If you can't, for instance, if you're selling a particular item, maybe you can sell a different variation of that item. Or you could sell the same variation but in different categories with using different keywords that they hadn't thought of. Because what I noticed is, especially when everybody is using the same keywords in the same category, they're fighting over the same pie, and you only can slice it so many times. So if you put yourself in a different category and none of those dudes are there, and you use different titles or different keywords that some customers will put in, but maybe not as often as the main ones that they're putting in, you put in these different keywords they didn't think of, you're going to get customers that they aren't going to see. And then also, if you get different variants of the product that they haven't thought of, or maybe a different color that they're not selling, you're going to have a wide open market because you have less competition. You're all fighting over the same pie. What if you just go find yourself a different pie? It's a slightly different color, it's a different category, it's a different title. This will get you the sales without having to fight over a price war. You won't have to, and you're sort of out of the picture too. You're not really their enemy anymore. You're kind of over in a different area. And I actually started doing that with a product that I sold 20,000 times on eBay. And it really helped me out a lot. I was sick of fighting with these guys. There was 2 or 3 other sellers that were really good sellers also on the same item, and I was sick of fighting over fighting them for a sale. And I was basically wasting advertising money. So, back in the old days on eBay, you paid a lot of money up front on an advertisement, particularly if you featured it. And I would always category feature this item because I would have it as a Dutch auction. I would sell multiple at a time. So I put it in a different category. Different titles. I even put it in different countries. I would sell it in Australia. I would sell it in the UK. Those guys didn't sell them over there. So I was all alone selling it in the Australia and UK. And I would also sell it for a higher price in different countries. So there's also pricing factors. If you sell it to a different market or with a different keyword, you can increase the prices sometimes as well. Because you're not dealing with, this competition that are trying to lowball each other. Right? So there's always different types of simple principles that you can apply. Often your competition only thinks so much and then they quit thinking. They got something working, it's going good, and then they just put their brain on autopilot and they just let it run until something goes wrong. So if you're always thinking a little bit ahead, spending a few minutes trying to think, how can I make this better every day, you're going to come out way ahead of your competition. And not just stopping. Another thing to do is avoid that feeling of stopping when you have success. You have success, you're like, oh, okay, I can rest now. I don't have to think for a while. Because when you get into that zone, then, you miss a lot of opportunities of more expansion and more success. Right? So you should always keep on your feet. And don't just start thinking when, that primordial, instinct kicks in that, oh shit, I need to make money. You don't need to have that tell you to start thinking. You can think before then, and you're already having success. Start thinking about other ways you can have success.